So what are the benefits of a fractional CMO? Well, if you're considering hiring a fractional CMO, you're probably asking the wrong question inside of your head. Instead of asking what changes in my marketing, ask what's going to actually change inside my business after they arrive. By the end of this video, you're going to know the biggest benefit of hiring a fractional CMO, not just in your marketing, but how they're actually going to drive your growth and whether or not you're in the right position to hire one right now. Most businesses think they need better marketing, but the true value of a fractional CMO is having somebody come in who actually maps out your strategy and tells you what you should be focusing on now and what can wait until later. If you're a business owner, the reality is that marketers are constantly bombarding you with their ideas, their products, and their services. So unfortunately, because you're very motivated to grow your business, you are very easily distracted by those people who are pros at doing this. Think about it. Who's better at selling marketing than a marketer? So your feed is probably filled every single day with the newest strategy, tactic, and they're constantly making you feel like you're doing things wrong. What a fractional CMO can do for you is say, look, based on your business model and your business type, I know this has worked, this has worked, this has worked, this is not worth the money or the time, ignore this, prioritize this later. So they actually map out not just your strategy, but your priorities and your timelines so that you're not distracted by the newest widget or the newest idea or the newest hack. You actually have a plan mapped out so you can stay focused, get the results, and more importantly, you can focus on the things in the business that you're actually supposed to be focusing on. One of the best things about hiring a fractional CMO is business owners stop solving the wrong problems. So how do you know if something is the wrong problem? Well, first off, when you go through an audit, one of the core things that a CMO should be looking at is the math. Why the math? Why the KPIs? Well, one of my favorite quotes is math is not an opinion. You put the same problem in front of 10 people, you're gonna get 10 different answers. But it's the math that actually defines, is it a problem or not? And I'll give you an example. Oftentimes when we start working with somebody, they'll say, oh, our leads aren't good, our campaigns aren't good, our cost per acquisition is too high. But let's just say they have a sales team on the back end of their business. Well, because I know what their close rate should be, I know what those KPIs should be. If I'm looking at all of the math in the beginning, and the math is good here, 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 and here, but over here on the sales team, their close rate is supposed to be 20%, but it's actually 7%. Well, fixing any of this stuff over here isn't going to actually have any impact. We have to go to the place that has the worst math first, solve that problem, and then we can amplify the success by improving subtly all of these things. But if you don't know where to look, then you're constantly trying to solve the wrong problems. That's why a great fractional CMO looks at things holistically. If you bring one in and you say, I need you to only focus here, it might be an issue for you now and you might think that's the biggest problem, but a great fractional CMO is gonna say, you know what, let me look at all the data, let me get the complete picture first so that we don't go down a rabbit hole that's not gonna make sense for the business right now. And they should be able to come back with a strategy and say, yeah, there's an issue here, but there's also an issue here, 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 and here. And I would actually prioritize these two first before we go and we actually look at this one. And that's where it really comes back to value. It's not an hourly rate game, it's a value game. If somebody can come in and say, this is going to increase your revenue or your profits by 10%, but if we perfect this thing over here, it's only gonna increase it by 1%, why would we focus on the 1% first when we could be focusing on the 10% first? That's the value of a very experienced fractional CMO. One of the unknown benefits that people don't really see right away, but they do see after 6 to 12 months, is the fractional CMO will actually also improve everybody else in your marketing department. Because if your marketing department, for example, wasn't KPI driven or KPI focused in the beginning, but a fractional CMO is coming in saying, show me the numbers, show me the numbers, show me the numbers, then naturally people start to absorb that type of protocol and they actually start to look at their own numbers first and hold themselves accountable to those things before they bring them to you or your fractional CMO. They might become more data driven just by osmosis. It's kind of that old adage that a rising tide lifts all boats. You're not just getting the value from the fractional CMO with your strategy, with your results, etc. You're actually getting the value of them increasing the knowledge base and the confidence and the results of your entire marketing team. If you're thinking about hiring a fractional CMO, I've put together another great video for you. It's called The 5 Things Every Business Owner Should Know Before Hiring a Fractional CMO. And I've actually put together a checklist for you as well called the 7-Mile Method that's at the end of that video that shows you exactly what our clients have done to go from 7 figures to 8 figures. And you can see all of the common variables, and you can actually have a look at your business and see where you might be missing some things and things need to be added. So it's a great video and it's a great free download for you. So go ahead and click that link below and we'll see you there.